Hello students, it's Miss Cestone here. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Edmentum for those of you who don't know. So this is an Edmentum Library, and sometimes your teacher will give you access to this library to work on your own or to take a test, but normally the teacher will be teaching you here. So every day the teacher will be walking through building vocabulary. Okay, it's a really great way. At some point in your lesson with your teacher will go through this. Okay, there's so much here for you to study. Here's a little sample of what it looks like. The teacher will project it on the board, and they'll have the objective for the lesson of building vocabulary, probably 10 words a day. And what's really good is that when the teacher clicks in, you should definitely have your own notebook so that you can kind of understand what is a stagecoach. Okay. And so before the Pony Express,
Stagecoach. Before the Pony Express, letters would travel by boat or stagecoach.
so she'll either read this or talk about the root words. And this is a little graphic organizer you can write in your notebook so that if you read about this on the test, you'll understand. Okay, prefix and suffixes and antonyms and synonyms. This is a really good way to learn vocabulary. Okay, so then you'll go to the next one, and there'll be sentences and different sentence structures, right? And so at different parts of the day, your teacher will focus on different subject areas. You shouldn't be doing vocabulary for 3 hours straight. There's other things you need to study for causes. So during your math lesson that day, they can be talking about parallel lines, for example. And so the teacher will walk you through this lesson, and they'll also use other things, right? And you can take out your notebook and take notes on that. Okay, so I would write down in my notebook parallel lines, right? And the objective, right? To take a look at this and how they are cut by a transversal. And this would be another good vocabulary word, and I would write that down. Okay. And so usually they have a warm up in every lesson, and these are usually the same every time. So the transversals, this will walk you through this as you're going through. It's really good information. And usually there's a lesson in here that someone will read this for you.
Parallel lines and transversals. Recall that parallel lines are lines on a plane that never intersect. Intersecting lines are lines that cross at a certain point.
So the teacher can stop and show you how to use different tutorials or different highlighters and different things, right? So if they're talking about intersecting lines, your teacher might highlight that and say, this is where they get the different lines and how the lines are named. Okay, so that's important when it comes to the test. Okay, and then the teacher will work through on this. So you don't have to work through this alone anymore. Okay, this is very important for the test. Okay, really important, great questions, and there's activities here, different parts and different activities that you can work on together in your notebook. You don't have to work on it on the computer because you'll be coming back to school face to face. So that'll be great. And then the teacher will work through this with you in class. Okay. Yeah. And so it'll give you the answers. You guys should be working on this with your teacher in class. Okay. So there's some subjects that ABE works on. And this is just our library. These are all of our textbooks that we have here. There's a bunch of vocabulary lists and different reading levels, writing skills. All of these are really good workforce readiness skills. So your teacher will click into here, and there'll be all kinds of business writing, really good. And the teacher will work you through that writing assignment together, and you'll be writing in your notebook. If you use computers at all, you'll probably be using word processing devices, Word documents, Google, things like that. But this is what the teacher will work you through. What is business writing? And you'll talk about the objectives, okay, and how it's different from other forms of writing, okay? And we'll talk about this. Your teacher will be teaching you these different ideas on here and clicking through. So this is just a teaching tool, kind of helps the teacher get through their work. And that's our Edmentum Library.